Hey everyone, and welcome back. We're diving into something pretty cool today. It's these super ambitious skyscraper concepts that never actually got built.
Yeah, these projects are so fascinating. They really show like the line between imagination and reality. You know what I mean?
Yeah, for sure. Some of them just seem impossible.
Totally. And it makes you wonder what the world would be like if they actually existed.
Exactly. So for this deep dive, we're using this YouTube video by Mega Builds. It's called Five Skyscrapers That Never Existed.
Yeah.
And yeah, get ready for some wild designs and stories.
Definitely, some of these are going to blow your mind.
Okay, so our first stop is Mumbai, India.
Oh, yeah, India.
They were planning this incredible skyscraper called the India Tower.
We've heard of that one.
It was supposed to be like a symbol of India's, rising power in the world.
Like landmark.
Exactly. Imagine a sleek, futuristic tower piercing the Mumbai skyline at 707 meters.
Whoa, that's tall.
I know, right? It was going to be designed by Foster and Partners.
Oh, wow, the firm behind like the Gherkin in London.
Yeah. And the Apple Park headquarters, those guys. They wanted the India Tower to be as recognizable as the Eiffel Tower or the Statue of Liberty.
Ambitious. So it wasn't just about looks then, right? What else did they have planned?
Oh, it was packed with tech. Like they were going to have observation decks with these insane panoramic views.
Of course, gotta have those.
And get this, they even wanted to incorporate something called a tuned mass damper.
A what? What is that?
So basically, it's this giant weight placed high up in the building.
A giant weight. Okay.
Yeah, and it's designed to like counteract swaying caused by high wind.
Oh, I see. So it keeps the building stable.
Exactly. Think of it like a counterweight on a seesaw.
Mm.
And you know what's even cooler? They use these dampers in Formula One cars.
No way. So they were taking inspiration from race cars to build this skyscraper.
Pretty much. It's crazy, right?
That's so cool. It's like they were pulling tech from everywhere.
I know, right? But here's the thing. The project was conceived in the early 2000s when India's economy was like booming.
Right. When everything seemed possible.
Exactly. Investors were pouring money into India, and the future just seemed limitless. Construction actually began in 2010.
So they were really doing it.
Yeah, but then the global economy kind of decided to, mess things up.
Oh, yeah, the economy can be unpredictable.
For sure. So what happened was India's growth slowed down, and the developers started having like money problems.
It's a classic tale, you know. Even the most ambitious projects can get derailed by money troubles.
Absolutely. Skyscrapers are these massive investments that reflect the economic optimism of their time.
If that optimism fades, the projects can just completely fall apart.
Totally. So yeah, the investors pulled the plug on the India Tower in 2013.
What? Just like that?
Pretty much. They just left behind this empty lot. And get this site is now considered like cursed.
Cursed. Seriously.
Yeah, because two other attempts to build there, even smaller buildings, also failed. It's like the location itself doesn't want anything built there.
That's crazy. So like bad luck on top of the economic downturn.
Yeah, it's wild how these projects can be influenced by things totally beyond, the architect's drawings. We're talking politics, the global economy, even superstition, it seems.
Totally. These buildings are like reflections of their time. They show us these larger trends and forces at play. It's a good reminder that architecture isn't just about design. It's also about economics, politics, and maybe even a little bit of fate.
All right, so for our next stop, we're going from a project that was years in the making to one that claimed it could be done in just 3 months.
Wait, what? 3 months?
Yep, 90 days to build the world's tallest building.
Yeah.
This was proposed in Changsha, China, and they called it Sky City.
Sky City. Okay. I'm intrigued.
This thing was supposed to be 838 meters tall. Taller even than the Burj Khalifa.
Hold on. Taller than the Burj Khalifa? In 3 months? How is that even possible?
Well, that's the crazy part. They were going to build it using these prefabricated concrete blocks.
Prefabricated blocks like giant Legos.
Exactly. It was this super ambitious modular construction method.
A 220-floor skyscraper built like Legos in just 90 days. It sounds like something out of a science fiction movie.
It does, right?
All right.
It was incredibly ambitious.
Yeah.
Maybe a little too ambitious.
So did they actually pull it off? Did they build this Sky City in 3 months?
Well, not exactly.
Yeah.
The 90-day deadline came and went, and Sky City remained just a dream.
What a bummer.
Yeah, the company behind the project basically went silent. They stopped talking to the media, and the whole thing just kind of faded away.
Classic case of overpromising and underdelivering.
Right. But wait, there's a twist to this story.
Yeah.
Remember that huge foundation they dug for the building?
Oh, yeah, that massive hole in the ground. What happened to it?
Well, it didn't stay empty for long. Some resourceful locals saw an opportunity and transformed it into, you guessed it, fish farms.
Fish farms. Seriously, in a skyscraper foundation.
Yep. They even started growing watermelons on the surrounding land. It's pretty amazing, actually.
That's incredible. Talk about making the best of a situation.
Right. So we've gone from a symbol of ambition in Mumbai to a fish farm in China. It's fascinating how these grand visions can be shaped by so many different factors.
Absolutely. It's like a reminder that even when things don't go according to plan, there's always a way to adapt and find new possibilities.
Okay, so for our next stop, we're heading to Baku, Azerbaijan, where one billionaire had a pretty interesting idea.
Oh, yeah. I think I know this one. The guy who wanted to build a tower even taller than the Burj Khalifa.
You got it. This one's a wild ride.
I can't wait to hear more.
Okay, so this billionaire in Azerbaijan, he wanted to outdo even the Burj Khalifa. What was he thinking?
Well, picture this, right? Baku, Azerbaijan, right on the Caspian Sea. You've got this oil tycoon, Ibrahimov,
Okay.
and he sees all these incredible buildings going up in Dubai.
Yeah, Dubai is known for that.
Totally. And he thinks, you know what? Azerbaijan needs a skyscraper that'll blow everyone away.
So he just wanted to shut off a little bit.
Maybe a bit. But also, it was a time when Azerbaijan's economy was booming, thanks to all that oil money.
Ah, so they had the cash to splash?
Exactly. They wanted to make a statement, put Azerbaijan on the map, and what better way to do that than with a record-breaking skyscraper?
I guess that makes sense. So how tall are we talking?
His proposed Azerbaijan Tower was designed to be a whopping 1,050 meters tall.
Whoa, that's over a kilometer.
Yep. It would have dwarfed the Burj Khalifa.
Mhm.
And not just that, it would have been taller than another planned mega skyscraper in Saudi Arabia, the Jeddah Tower.
So it's like a competition between billionaires. Who could build the tallest tower?
Kind of feels that way, right? Ibrahimov even said publicly that he'd build taller than anyone else no matter what.
Talk about competitive spirit. But even with all that money, a tower that tall must have been insanely difficult to build.
Oh, absolutely. The Azerbaijan Tower was meant to be the centerpiece of this crazy development called Khazar Islands.
Khazar Islands? What's that?
Imagine 55 artificial islands in the Caspian Sea.
55 islands. Wow.
Yeah. It was supposed to have luxury hotels, a yacht club, a Formula One racetrack, even its own airport, all centered around this massive tower.
That's insane. It's like a city out of the future.
Yeah, that was the vision. But then, as you might guess, things took a turn.
Oh no. What happened? Did the money run out?
Pretty much. In 2015, oil prices plummeted and it hit the Azerbaijani economy hard.
Yeah, that makes sense. Their wealth was tied to oil.
Right. And just like that, funding for Khazar Islands dried up, construction on the Azerbaijan Tower basically stopped.
It's a good reminder that even the most ambitious projects can be vulnerable to things like global economics.
Absolutely. These massive skyscrapers take years to build and tons of money. If the economy shifts, it can be devastating.
So what happened to Ibrahimov, the billionaire, behind all this? Did he just walk away?
Actually, no. As the project was falling apart, he got into some legal trouble.
Really?
Yeah, he was even arrested for a while because of unpaid loans connected to the development.
Yikes. So did he end up in jail?
He actually tried to leave the country but was caught by authorities.
Wow. Talk about a dramatic turn of events.
Right. So as of today, the fate of the Azerbaijan Tower and the whole Khazar Islands project is still uncertain.
It's just sitting there unfinished.
Pretty much, construction hasn't restarted. It's a reminder that these projects aren't just about engineering and design.
There's a lot more to it.
Exactly. It's about human ambition, economic realities, and sometimes just plain bad luck.
Okay, so we've seen how economic forces can make or break these skyscraper plans. But now I want to talk about a project that was just way ahead of its time. We're going back to the 1950s to explore the Illinois, a mile-high skyscraper dreamed up by the legendary architect Frank Lloyd Wright.
The Illinois. Now, that's a name I haven't heard in a while.
It's a pretty wild concept.
Right.
A building so tall it literally goes through the clouds.
Yeah. There's supposed to be 528 floors and a mile high, 1.6 kilometers.
A whole mile. That's just mind-boggling.
I know, right? And it wasn't just going to be a building. It was designed to be like a vertical city.
A vertical city? What do you
Well,
mean?
it's going to have residential areas, commercial spaces, even recreational spaces, all integrated into this massive structure.
It's like a self-contained world up in the sky. Exactly. I get this right. Envisioned it as a way to address social challenges. Create this kind of like vertical utopia.
That's pretty forward thinking for the 1950s.
Totally.
Yeah.
And he came up with all these innovative ideas for how to make it work, like helicopter landing pads.
Of course. You need those for a mile-high building.
Right. And atomic-powered elevators.
Atomic powered.
Seriously.
Yeah. It's wild, right? It was all about pushing the boundaries of what was possible.
But was it actually feasible? I mean, with the technology back then?
Well, in reality, probably not. The materials and construction techniques just weren't there yet to build something that tall.
And I bet finding investors was a challenge, too.
Oh, for sure. A project that massive would have been incredibly risky.
So it never got off the ground?
Nope. It stayed on the drawing board. But even though it wasn't built, the Illinois did have a lasting impact on architecture.
Really? How so?
What Wright's design for the building structure, this innovative three-lode system, it actually influenced later skyscrapers like the Burj Khalifa. No way. So you can see elements of the Illinois in the Burj Khalifa.
Yeah. It's amazing, right? Even unrealized ideas can shape the future.
It's a testament to the power of imagination and innovation. Sometimes the most impactful designs are the ones that spark new ideas and push the boundaries of what we think is possible.
All right, so we've talked about skyscrapers in India, China, and even gone back in time to the 1950s. But for our final stop, we're heading back to Dubai.
Back to Dubai. I thought we already covered that.
We did. But this time we're talking about a concept that makes even the Burj Khalifa look tiny.
Oh, wow. Okay, I'm all ears.
This one's called the Dubai City Tower. And get this, it was proposed to be 2,400 meters tall.
2,400 meters? Are you serious? That's like 3 times taller than the Burj Khalifa.
It's insane, right? The Dubai City Tower was envisioned as a true vertical city with distinct neighborhoods spread across its 400 floors.
400 floors? That's a whole lot of neighborhoods.
And to get around, they plan to have elevators traveling at 200 kilometers per hour.
200 kilometers an hour. That's as fast as a bullet train.
Yeah, they weren't messing around. Of course, building that tall comes with some serious challenges. Like, how do you even make it stand up?
That was the big question. How do you deal with the wind forces at that height?
Well, they came up with a pretty crazy solution. They designed a network of supporting buildings that would spiral around the core tower.
So like a giant windbreak.
Exactly. It's this super futuristic concept that really pushed the limits of structural engineering.
Did it ever get built? Or was it just too ambitious?
Sadly, the Dubai City Tower seems to have just vanished. No one really knows why.
Maybe it was just too far ahead of its time.
Maybe. But it's definitely a reminder that even in a place like Dubai, there are limits to what's possible.
It makes you wonder what could have been if they had figured it out.
Right. So we've journeyed through these unrealized skyscraper projects, all these amazing visions that never quite made it to reality. What do you think our listeners should take away from all this?
Well, I think it highlights the incredible ambition and creativity of architects and engineers. They dared to dream big, to imagine these incredible structures that challenged the limits of what we thought was possible.
Absolutely. And even though these buildings were never built, they still have something to teach us.
They remind us that architecture isn't just about design. It's about pushing boundaries, solving problems, and maybe even leaving a lasting impact on the world.
And they show us that even the grandest visions can be shaped by things like economics, politics, and technology.
Totally. These unbuilt skyscrapers are like a window into the past, but they also make us think about the future. What are the architectural dreams of tomorrow, and what challenges will they face?
It's a great question to ponder. And while you're thinking about it, we'd love to hear your thoughts. Which of these unbuilt skyscrapers would you have loved to see become a reality? What bold architectural dreams do you have for the future? Let us know. Until next time, keep looking up and keep dreaming big.